Hello again. Breezy today, hot and humid, but all good. We're heading off to the other side of Lea Mount today to see what's happening over there. Don't need to get tickets today, as Andy is picking me up in his truck. Interestingly, there's some people in the Whistle Stop Cafe, or the old Whistle Stop Cafe, measuring up with measuring tapes, so maybe something's coming there. And I've just spotted Andy coming into the car park, so I'll join you again in Dawlish. Here we are in Dawlish, the Barton car park. Lovely. We're up this end today, and we're not going down into Dawlish itself. We're going along Plantation Terrace, I believe, or somewhere in that direction, to get to the top of Lea Mount.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we're going to turn round and do a shot behind us of where I've just walked from, of a building, which Andy will tell you about when we line it up. Just over here, you see that bit of wall, and we're looking round about here for this picture.
Yes, the hut was based in now what is Barton Terrace car park, as seen in the photo taken in 1921. The building was used as a multi-purpose events unit, everything from dancing schools to drama club, pantomimes, opera and local celebrations. My mother had the fortune of being taught dance and drama. She also performed pantomime and opera at the hut. Mom was very keen on ballet and learnt to dance and performed alongside the great John Gilpin, who lived in the town. John was a leading ballet dancer and actor and went on to have a successful career, sadly passing away in 1982. This photo is the last one of the hut in 1960 and more or less from the same position as our first photo in 1921. The day after it was taken, it was set to be demolished.
And there we go, that was here. Lovely. And I said about walking up Plantation Terrace, but I was quite wrong on that. We're not, we're going up that way.
No,
So
we're going up the hill.
Right up the hill.
And if you look up in the distance, you will see some green footpath signs.
There we go, we're going up there. There we are, we made it in the end. A bit puffy, but it's okay. As we walk along here, we find a baby seagull, which we're going to chase. No, we're not really, we're just going to walk past it.
Well, I don't think they'll allow you to walk past it.
Well, we're going to follow it then. Better check up for no one swooping in.
And having our heads. That's a good bird. Well done.
And finally, well, not really finally, because it wasn't a great long walk, it was actually a lot shorter than I thought it might have been, to be fair. We find ourselves back on the main road coming in to Dawlish, which is halfway up Lea Mount.
And perfectly we can cross the road.
Excellent, excellent. And we cut off of the main road, which is running other side of that wall there, to a nice little area where we can look out to sea and look down at the train tracks as well.
Yes.
Lovely, what a nice vantage point.
What a great vantage point.
Up here on Lea Mount.
It's great for photography, for anybody who's coming here and they want to take nice photographs of trains. This is the place to come.
And now you know exactly how to get here and where to park. Smash in. Now as you look down there, you can see the bridge that we often stand on to look along the tracks. And here's a viewer submission from Kath. Thank you very much, Kath. Of a happy train from that bridge. Here we go. Happy train! Now, thanks for that, Kath, much appreciated. And also had an email from Robert. Hello, mate. He bought a jigsaw puzzle of Dawlish. Here we are, here's a jigsaw puzzle. And he says not only did he complete it, but he came down to Dawlish to see it in person. And here's a picture of him outside none other than the Spooky House. Cheers, Robert. Hope you had a lovely time when you were down here and enjoyed Dawlish to the max. Smash in. I'm just going to carry on now after that little brief stoppage. And carry on along the top here to the top of Lea Mount. Beautiful. That's the down.
The downward section.
We're carrying on up. So this has been, most of this has been inaccessible and closed off ever since I started doing the videos, in fairness. And that's about 5 years ago now. So it's good to think that everything's reopened. Information board, Lea Mount before the railways came to Dawlish. Always pause and read that if you want. Some nice pictures. Lovely. And of course, most importantly of all, as the spooky house, as was when it was a bathhouse.
The old bathhouse, yeah.
There we go.
And that's where we would be now.
Yes, that little tunnel bit we talked
Would
about
be
in the
here.
previous photo would have been here.
Yeah.
With the cliff coming down. And there's the map. Smashing. Now behind the access point there down to the main road. And we've got a little shelter there for if it rains. And a bin to get rid of your rubbish. A little picnic table. And yes, lovely. Lovely. What a view. Top of Lea Mount. Smashculating.
And this is the famous place where everybody comes and has their photograph taken with the town.
Right, well this is the iconic view that Andy was talking about, where a lot of people came to have their photos taken. Here's a view of it in the 1950s. Beautiful shot there. And not just holidaymakers coming, some celebrities too. Just down there we've got a photo of
Ken Dodd. Ah, how tutty hilarious.
There we are, so Ken Dodd comes along, has his photo taken there as well. Absolutely smashing. Lovely. And in the distance there, we have the castle set. Departing Dawlish station. And making its way along the sea wall. Anyway, the reason we're actually up here today, as much as it's a lovely view, I just want to talk about the general area of Lea Mount and how it came to be and what it was used for in the war, most particularly.
Yes.
What these buildings were for.
What they were
war,
for, their purpose.
Off. Yeah, go on.
And I mean, and the purpose of it, I mean, now the outbreak of war, this would become a key defensive area and a sentry box, an entrance to Lea Mount, which we're just walking down to now, which is on our right and left hand side, I think. But up here there would be two concrete gun platforms for 6-inch naval guns to adjacent structures, a 2-storey brick observation post, an ammunition store with concrete generator house, an adjacent underground concrete store with 2 corrugated latrines on the cliff walk, which also had searchlight houses.
And here we are, this is one of the sentry posts Andy was talking about. So you'd have had one of them there, one of them on the other side, which is long gone now.
Long gone, yeah.
And the gun at the end there.
And you can see evidence in the floor where they used to have a place which would where the gates would have been, where the gates would have closed off. You can even see on the wall, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Where they had the gates.
There we are. And there's the
other one.
Gone into.
And this is where a soldier would have stood to have guarded this off from people coming in here. Now the thing about this was only used by what they call the Holden Commandos, and the Holden Commandos basically were a homemade battalion, a home guard battalion, and my grandfather actually was one of the Holden Commandos.
Right, another one of the buildings up here. Used to be a lookout per se, but Andy says he thinks this would have
also housed a gun.
Housed a gun. Great big gun to shoot out to sea there. Obviously we've lost the view with the growth build up, but yeah, imagine a gun here surveying out to sea.
And they would have had a great commanding view over the coastline. We'll probably see a little bit further up as we go along. This is one of them.
Yeah, we just found one of the actual gun platforms. Andy's pointed out to the mounting for the gun. And
just there you will see the see where it would have been hooked into the ground.
Yep. So we'd have a gun here, looking out over there.
And possibly in there would have been a smaller gun looking out over there.
Smaller gun, you've got the bit around the back there sort of built up. Yes, very nice. Well, we're right up top now of Lea Mount. And got a picture taken from Horse Cove, wasn't it? And of a building at the top of these cliffs. And I think would have been about here. So imagine now you're down there somewhere. Down there on that beach, looking up.
Looking up.
And you might well see this. There we are, that building's pretty much where we're standing now, I believe.
And just for our delight, we keep on there. There is a train coming.
Oh, smashing. Whee! Right, one final pan round in the wind. This is the top part of Lea Mount. Never visited before on the channel. Lovely.
And it's a beautiful place to come and have a picnic as well.
And he's just pointed over here, something that you just get the traces of, munition store.
This used to be where the munitions was kept in here. And I remember it as a boy. You can see the steps are in the floor there where they would have gone up and down to put the munitions in. But I remember it back in the 70s. That, of course, you've got to imagine this is all clear, a lot lower. There was a door on that, a big metal door, and the gardeners that worked up here would store their tools in there.
And we come out right at the top here of Lea Mount and back onto the Dawlish Road.
Yes, and you can have evidence again of where the gates would have been.
Yeah, all closed off during the war. And we're carrying on walking up now. This is the road which comes out of Dawlish and takes you to Teignmouth.
Yes.
Here we are parallel with the road. However, we're going to cut down here.
Yes, we're going down onto the old Teignmouth Road. And this used to be the original, part of the original road to Teignmouth.
Oh, I must have travelled this many times myself back in the day, but I can't say I've been down here on foot and seen it at all recently. So whether or not I remember it or not, I don't know.
No, I can just about barely remember it.
Yeah, it's a little lower road.
Yeah,
away
and this
here.
used to be part of the old road to Teignmouth from Dawlish.
And this is still on the old road here. Starting to head back upwards now.
And here's one of the out of the way bed and breakfast places.
The beaches, bed and breakfast.
I can highly recommend it. A couple of my friends have stayed there and they found it lovely.
Oh, that's good to know. Excellent. The beaches, bed and breakfast. There we are, you see that? That's a gate. Someone's house. It's an octopus. So I thought I'd better stop and get a shot of that because it's sort of somewhat out of the way on this old back road.
Yeah, and I think by looking at the shape of that building, it may
Could be the toll house.
It looks like an old toll house.
Yes. Lovely gate though. Lovely
What a beautiful gate that is.
And that shrimp lodge. Smashing. Now that shrimp cottage wasn't the toll house. That's the old toll house there. There we go. That would have been the sister one for the one that we see in Teignmouth, where we say if you could imagine getting a little bit of money for every car that comes by these days, you'd be a millionaire overnight.
Ooh.
Lovely. And we've just come out to the top again with the original road or the new road coming past. Andy's pointing out there that there's a 2-hour parking here.
Place here, which is these bays here, which you see.
No one in it.
And you can see there's bays obviously across the road as well.
So if you wanted to come up and try Lea Mount,
yeah,
instead of going where we
walk.
went, having to walk, park up here. And you just follow the park up here and just follow that road around and you'll get to it in the end.
Yes.
Smashing. And just over to our left here, coast path. This is our walk down to Horse Cove. I said we were going just past Lea Mount, didn't I? So we're going to go down to Horse Cove, as Andy says. Please do not use your mobile phone on the stairs and please hold the handrail.
And please hold on to the handrail. Thank you.
But we have to repeat that as you're a 10-year-old lost.
Yes. Please do not use your mobile phone and please hold on to the handrail. Thank you.
This is quite a picturesque little path, this is. Very level at the moment.
Yes.
And certainly nice Nice little view. Haven't walked down here before ever, of course. Another new thing for me on the channel and for me in real life as well.
If you screw round to the right, Bill, where the orange sign is on the top, now up there was a really good vantage point for the Dawlish air show. And I think on YouTube, I can't be precise, but there are some pictures of people watching the Vulcan, and I think the year before the 2 Lancasters coming over there, and it was a crowd of people up there.
Now I was focusing in on that just now when Andy was talking about people stopping to watch the air show.
Yes.
But it turns out that's to do with Bam Nuttall.
Yeah.
Who did a lot of the work down there.
Yeah, well, I had all their vehicle equipment up there because as we're coming down, we've got a road down here, which you can see. This was a road where they bring their vehicles in or unload things, and they would take it down to the rockfall shelter, which is what we're coming to.
So that was the road that they used construction of the rockfall
To
shelter.
bring the construction, yeah.
Smashing. Carrying on walking down now. Those of you keeping track, it is getting slightly steeper. There is a train in the distance. And this little bit here, I believe is the bit we're heading down to. This little bridge over troubled waters. Over Lea me down. Let's see. We don't want to look that way, do we really? That's not what we're here for. We want to look at that way for the railway. Smashing. Now this spot has created some iconic images of trains. Unfortunately though, due to modern day safety, etc., and the growth of the bushes,
yeah,
we can't get to where we wanted to get to, because you see just there, there's some steps in behind there, which is all bolted off. And you used to be able to walk down there and get a much better view.
You did.
Around the corner. But anyway, here's an iconic shot to show you what you're missing, because we can't go down there.
We can't go down. Yeah, and what you're seeing in that shot is a local service, class 108. That would have been between Exeter and Paignton, and that's passing there. And then we have another one which just shows you that magazines of all things would have used it, and this is on the front of a Hornby magazine, and it's like a painting, an artist's sketch of what it looked like here. But as Bill said, a shame we can't go down there to give you the full view.
But there's those rocks that are in the pictures.
Yeah.
Shame we can't sort of see it there properly. But there we are. At least we tried, at least we've done. This is what, Horse Cove?
And this is called Horse Cove. Yeah,
Horse
this
Cove.
is Horse Cove.
Smashing.
And
just round the corner is the rockfall.
there's the rockfall shelter.
And we've got a couple of sheep coming to join us.
Couple of enthusiasts.
They want to see if they can see the trains as well.
Yes.
All right, so we're not staying down there any longer. No trains seem to come by. We've got to get back from Mum. And we've got a bit of a walk ahead of us. Nearly back up at the top now. There's the road ahead of me where those houses are. Here we are back on the main road. That's where Andy's mate used to live years ago.
Yeah.
And we've crossed over onto the other side of the road now. And he's just pointed out first sign of the blackberries
Yes.
at the side of the road here.
This will be a major crop. Look at that. It's going right up to the back there. I'm not going to pick those up there.
Here we go, heading back down now. Where we're going to cut across. This is the bottom of the Lea Mount Pice where we went in. Andy's just drawn my attention to this bench here in the wall, one of the old designs.
Yeah.
From the 1950s.
These were beautiful. Shame really, it's out on its own out here. But these were really nice benches when I was a boy. And I think when you come down the hill into Teignmouth, there's another one on your left hand side.
Go back into the lane to take us back to Andy's truck. And this is Barton Lane for anyone that wants to work out
You're on
where we've
Barton
been.
Lane now.
There's our little seagull friend from earlier on, still hanging around, lurking. A little pair of wings on its back, a little tiny sort of different colour to him.
It's got a spotty head. It's like it's got one of those old funny fur hats on.
Anyway, we're going to come around the corner in a minute, get into his truck. So I'm going to say goodbye from me.
Yes, and it's goodbye from me.
Hopefully you've enjoyed our little discovery of Lea Mount, and take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.